One of the most common questions that people ask to a girl who wants to join a religious life is this: my dear, why such a life? You can do good even without becoming a religious, isn't it? This question was asked to me also due to one another reason. Because I lived as an NRI, I lived my life, entire childhood life in Saudi Arabia. From the time I was born till I completed my 10th, I was there in Saudi Arabia. So after even coming to India, I led a life as a tomboy, a life of joy and comfort and luxury and so on. Hi all, I'm Sister Maria George FMA, belonging to the Bangalore province of Salesian Sisters of Don Bosco. All were asking this question, which I have mentioned before. And I too was not a very religious person, yes, especially in this country of Saudi Arabia, where you do not have any church, any priest, any religious sisters, nothing related to Christianity. But then we had the privilege to have underground masses, holy masses, and catechism and all, but all hidingly. And all this gave me the inspiration, gave me the fire to be with Jesus, to love Jesus. Yet, the life of becoming a religious was not in my mind. Especially as I have mentioned before, I was a tomboy, literally speaking a tomboy. So after coming to India, after my 10th, I decided to come to India to continue my studies in Silver Hills Higher Secondary School, Calicut. So at that time, I was interested to go to church because of one reason. I loved the Eucharist. That was something really special in me because, as I have mentioned before, in Saudi Arabia, you do not have any access to Holy Mass. I mean, private celebrations were there, of course, but then it was all hidden. So this desire, this fire for the Holy Eucharist burnt in me, grew up in me. So I came to Kerala, I continued my catechism classes and my schooling here. So all were asking, because I used to go to church every day, since I have mentioned before. People used to ask whether you'll become a sister. I was like, don't even think about it. That concept is not there in my mind. So much so, one day I went to the church and in front of the altar, I told Jesus, Jesus, if you have any such idea of making me a religious, just forget about it because I'm not interested in religious life. But then I just gave a clause there. If you call me, then okay. But in my heart, I was damn sure that Jesus will not take such a risk of calling me to religious life. But then he had another plan. I had immediately after that challenging experience with the Lord, I had an experience of deep intimacy with the Lord where I felt the call of my Jesus to become his bride. I was a person who was not at all interested even to go to a convent school, but a drastic change happened after a God experience that I had got in the church. I was called by the Lord. But then my parents, they were really surprised when I said, after completing my 12th, I told my parents that I want to join. But then they were really, surprised, and they were totally against it because they thought that if I go to become a religious, my goodness, the Catholic Church will have to face one more tragedy. So that's why, literally speaking, they were not so much happy about that. And of course, being the only girl in the family, they were not so happy about it. And then I continued my degree studies. I completed my bachelor's degree in mathematics at Christ College, Irinjalkuda. So during that time, I had the great opportunity to become a part of the Jesus Youth family. So I was actively participating in the ministry, and after completing my degree studies, 1 year I took a commitment as a full-timer to become a missionary to unknown places. So there also I was placed in Alapura and Cherthala, both zones, and I completed as a national full-timer, but working for Kerala Campus Ministry. So I had such a wonderful experience as a missionary. After that, again, I proposed this idea to my parents By the time my parents were sure that, okay, I had a desire, but then they did not know how I will live this life. Because I led a life of comfort, of freedom, and I was a person who was so much interested in traveling. I had traveled the entire Kerala from top to down. So how she is going to manage a life in the convent? So that was the question all were asking. But then I could feel the deep calling in my heart that you may be a tomboy. Jesus was speaking to me, you may be a tomboy, but then for me you're the best. So come and follow me. So I decided to join the Salesian sisters of Don Bosco, which was really inspiring for me because they were also very active congregation. Sisters were really active and they were interested in youth ministry, which I liked the most. So I decided to join there, and I had my formation in Telangana and Bangalore, and now I am a religious sister. So when people ask this question to me of why I became a religious, I have just one answer. I fell in love with Jesus. And to the girls who want to join the religious life, if at all you have an idea, if at all you have an inspiration to join this life, I have just one comment. Just go for it. Because I know that the most romantic lover that I have ever seen is my Jesus. Because He gave His life for me, and He is there for you too. He have given His life for you, and He is there for you. So you may be a tomboy, you may be the person who may be climbing all the trees in the garden, you may be someone who is shouting at the top of your voice. Whatever you may do, whoever you are, if you feel that Jesus is calling you, just go for it and have that adventurous life with Jesus ahead. Thank you.